Shalom, call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and the sincere Shalom to the house of David, which is the 144,000, and hopeful, which is the 1/3, who's tuned into the truth and pushing the truth with all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth where you have been scattered. Now the G7, not the G7, the G20 has announced their this global beast system pretty much. All right, so let's just dive straight into it. The group of 20 leaders have agreed to a plan to eventually impose digital currencies and digital IDs on their respective populations, despite fears that governments will use them to monitor their people's spending and crush dissent. And that's one of the main things that's going to happen, and they don't care, right? And they're going to do this by ways of disaster, right? Order out of chaos, which means order out of chaos. The G20, which is currently under India's presidency, adopted a final declaration on the subject over the weekend in New Delhi, whatever. The meeting, which included the world's leading economies, announced last week that they had agreed to build the necessary infrastructure to implement digital currencies and IDs. The group said that discussions were already underway to create international regulations for cryptocurrencies, but claimed that there was no talk of banning cryptocurrency at the summit. So they're trying to regulate this money, man. All right, and they're gonna usher in the charagma through these type of policies. Many critics are concerned that governments and central banks will eventually regulate cryptocurrencies and then immediately replace them with central bank digital currency (CBDC), and that's the truth, which lack similar privacy and security. Indian Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that discussions were underway to build a global framework to regulate crypto assets since they believe cryptocurrencies cannot be regulated efficiently without total international cooperation. So they're trying to they're trying to see where money's moving around, because crypto, you don't know where that money's coming from and going. I mean, yeah, they can, maybe if so, like investigation or something like that, maybe they could dive a bit deeper, maybe. But how it's I think it's called degeneralized. I believe that's the word. Um, Not degeneralized. What's the word I'm looking for? I forget the word. It slips me, but it's not regulated to the point where the government can get involved, because you can buy crypto, do and make money through the crypto, and send the crypto somewhere and make money off of it, and the government and the banks and everything else can't really get involved with it, and now they're trying to. That's the plan. India's presidency have put on the table key issues related to regulating or understanding that there should be a framework for handling issues related to crypto assets. Ms. Setarman said before the G20 gathering. The top items discussed at the New Delhi summit include building digital public infrastructure, digital economy, crypto assets, and then CBDC. So this is all building up to the beast system pretty much. All right, and these nations uh, wanting to fulfill their lust of having full control over the people. But let's get this right here. This is Isaiah 24 and 21. and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth." So these nations that think that they're gonna get away with this madness, that they're boasting and proudly proclaiming um at these meetings, all right? They're not gonna get away with anything, especially specifically for the children of Israel. This is verse 22. "And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in a prison. After many days shall they be visited. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when Yahweh of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously." And that's talking about how there will be no light. All right, the children of Israel will have that second covenant. All right, spiritual power forever, immortality. All right, and basically these nations, these like these people making these claims, and all these, not all these people at these meetings, but you got the BRICS right here. I believe this is the BRICS. What is this? India, Iran. No, that I think this is Iran, Russia, South Africa, and then I believe this is Brazil right here. So India, Brazil, Iran, South Africa. Oh, and that's not Russia. That's Sleepy Joe right there. But I believe this is 4 out of 5 of the BRICS. I believe Russia and China didn't show up to the G20, if I'm not mistaken, or at least China didn't show up, because I think China's missing from here too, and Russia, and then you got oh, Sleepy Creepy Joe right there, man. And you see all these people you see here are pretty, unless the Heavenly Father kills them beforehand. When things start, when all hell starts breaking loose, they're gonna they're gonna run to their bunkers, man. They're gonna dip out um to their bunkers, and try to live comfortable there while all hell's breaking loose on the surface of the planet Earth. All right, let's go to Psalm 64. Psalm 64 and 2. "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." And you best believe that they these talks that, how we just what I just read, and there's an actual video. You can just type in G20 meeting in India, and it'll show the video on YouTube. They were talking about this probably decades ago, that secret council of the wicked, and now they're just bringing it to the forefront, and it's mostly to go against the children of Israel, man, because that's who Esau Edom um, wants to take out, is the children of Israel. Give me a moment. Oh, now let's dive a little bit more into this. Let's start right here. Indian Finance Minister Narmala said that discussions were underway to build a global framework. Discussions were underway to build a global framework to regulate crypto assets. I think I already read that. Let's scroll down a little bit more. All right. At the summit, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen called for an international regulatory body for AI, digital ID systems similar to the C19 cracks, passports, and advocated for global cooperation to address the challenges presented by AI. So this, and as we know, uh, the charagma is linked up with this AI, man. Right? That's how buy or sell. She called for the UN to have a role. See, that's the beast. All right, that's a part of the beast right there. The UN to have a role in AI regulations, and called the EU, which is also a part of the beast, the C19 digital certificate, a perfect model for digital public infrastructure, which would include digital IDs. And that main digital ID they want to do is put it up in you, man. The RF, literally the RF ID, man. Many of you are familiar with the C19 digital certificate. The EU developed in it for itself. The model was so functional and so trusted, right, that 51 countries on 4 continents adopted it for free, said the president, von der Leyen, or Leyen, who cares, right? Today, the WHO uses it as a global standard to facilitate mobility in times of health threats. And they're coming with a second pandemic, man. I want to thank Dr. Tedros again for the excellent cooperation, she said, referring to the WHO director. All right. The EU is currently trying to introduce a block-wide digital identity app that would consolidate various personal information, including passports, driver license, and medical history. And that's going, and then the RF identification does just all that, man. And this is all leading up to that. So we see the groundwork for it, and then you still got these paid off groups telling you it's sleeping with white women, right? Let's go to Micah 2. This is Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. All right, so Esau, Edom, in the comfort of his home. All right, they are thinking up, and the Heavenly Father is working to work with them. Don't get it twisted, to come up with these ideas to make life harder for everybody else, and to have this false sense of power. When the morning is light, all right, so when it's time to make your moves, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So the wicked, right, the oppressors, Esau, Edom, has the authority to work out his wickedness. Why? This is why Esau, Edom, can do what he wants to do in wickedness. This is Job 9 and 24. The earth The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why Esau, Edom, can pull off these feats of evil. And it's all pointed at the children of Israel, man. That's really the main target. Let's get Psalms 83. Psalms 83 and verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel, Yasharallah, right, the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So all these nations have took counsel to come together to cut off the children of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes. All right, and then I'm not going to list all these nations. All right, and they listed Esau, Edom twice because where is it? I know it's Amalek, verse 8, Psalms 83 and 7. It says Amalek, man. So they listed Esau Edom twice, man. It started off with Esau because that's our number one enemy, and he's finna come with that wrath. It's gonna catch a lot of people off guard. This is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So these Edomites and the rest of these nations, man, do not have much longer to rule. Because once Esau Edom goes down, it's not going to be China coming up. All right, it's going to be the children of Israel. I'm gonna end this off right here. Psalms, second chapter. This is Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. All right? He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord Yahweh shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. Yahweh hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Right? And who's that going into, man? Yahweh Shai. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. Slavery, in the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. Conquering. All right? And that's it for this lesson. Lord's will is edifying and shalom.